Welcome to his house, where we gon' run our mouth, while sipping pearl tea, that's pearl tea, yeah, that's on me. What's up, my pearl teas? Apparently, Mary Jane Byarm, who's a world traveler, shout out to her, black woman doing big things on the YouTube travel industry. Even though she did get canceled by a lot of people, I didn't really want to cancel because I feel like a lot of this stuff was hype. But then too, everybody's entitled to their own opinion. Now, some of this might be good news to you, and some of it might not be bad news to you. I don't know, but allegedly, Mary Jane Byarm has a boo. And she's had a boo that she's been with for like a year or two. And it's crazy because in that time, she's kept her relationship very, very, very private. I had thought that they were going to break up, and I still kind of think maybe they will eventually break up. But who's to say, because they've been going strong and nobody really can tell what predict the future but them, you know, when it comes to people's lives. But at the same time, it's kind of like, should we be worried? Should we be concerned? And those who've been hating her probably be happy about this. But ever since I heard about him, I just been having bad vibes. And that's just me. And I mean, I definitely could be wrong. But you know how women in love, they get, you know, blinders, and you can't really see past the truth or the lies because you're in love. And I mean, she's by herself a lot of the time. However, he does travel with her, thankfully, and they're able to take trips together because they got it like that. And shout out to her because she's about to take on 70 more countries because she's trying to go to all the countries in the world. So if you're a traveler, go check out Mary Jane Byarm. And like, she also gonna do a lot of her tours in Africa, and people have been wanting her to go to Africa, this and that. And I one time thought she was from Africa because I remember she was responding to me in a chat one time, and we were conversing, and I had made a comment about somebody being from Africa because my ex was from Africa, and I was like, nah, don't do it, this and that. And she kind of stopped talking to me. But it's cool though, girl. You know, I get it because I was a little bit biased in that conversation, but I was like, girl, watch out for them. They ain't nothing to play with. You know what I'm saying? And they not. They on another level, baby. I ain't trying to play with them, folks like that. But I shout out to them because they are smart, bright, intelligent. I did a video on that. It's all good. But them things be sneaky too. All right. So, yeah. So back to her. I think she's dating a white man, if I'm not mistaken. Okay. And some people be like, okay, so what? She doesn't want her business in the scene. She doesn't want her business in the street. I get it. Right. But before she got a boyfriend, because this will drive you to that point. Don't get me wrong. I'm the same way. Like, when I get nervous or scared, like, that drove me into my first marriage. And I have a story behind that. It's crazy. It's a really crazy story. But that's how I got in my first relationship, because I really just didn't want to be by myself at that particular time. And then the story behind it and what was really going on was so funny. He basically was the person behind a lot of it, and I didn't. Anyway, so back to her story. Before this happened, before she met this guy, she was kind of being followed or stalked. Like, so if you're in the public eye, you have to know that people follow you. That's why so many people were trying to come to her event, and then when they didn't get to come, or they were trying to get their money back, they started saying she was scamming them and this and that. But who's supposed to send you your money back when I already made arrangements, plans, this and this and that for a whole couple weeks prior, and then at the last minute you're like, oh, I want my money back. Two G's, 3 G's, are you serious? I'm not giving you your money back either. So I don't really consider that a scam. It's like you knew what you signed up for, and then last minute, whatever. Like, if your leg is on fire or something like that, I would call later, be like, yeah, I need my money back. I want to be able to go and have proof. Okay, I get that. But just, oh, I don't want to go. Baby, nobody got time to be playing them games. Like, because she was booking everything from the trip to there, like, to the pickup, to the activities. Like, that's a job. That's a full-time job. So I feel like she needed to be credited for her service. But a lot of people was like, oh, she scammed me. And so, yeah, you'll see a campaign on that for her, too. So with that being said, if you know a couple people don't necessarily like you, who's to say they won't set you up with somebody? That's number one. Number two, like I said, before this incident happened, I remember her talking about a scenario where she almost got trafficked, in my opinion, because it was this couple really acting really weird. And this is the video right before I remember her saying she had a boyfriend. Like I said, fear would drive you into a relationship that you probably don't need to be in. And she travels most of the countries by herself. True enough, she has had her family with her, friends with her on trip, but most of the time she's by herself, which power to her. I would travel anywhere by myself, no problem. I don't have no problem with it, but it's better if you know people, or if you know, especially if it's like far, because some of these laws and everything is crazy. So I definitely commend her for that, and that's one reason why I've watched her for that. However, back to the situation. So she was out eating, and this couple entertained her in this conversation. They were acting kind of weird. They kind of was acting like they were stalking her. They ended up, I think, coming to where she was. She had to move hotels and stuff like that. So, and people had their eye on her. So with that being said, I found out in life that sometimes people will send people romantically to you too, whether it's to catch you up in something, keep an eye on you, or so you'll leave the person they talking to alone. It happens, right? But and then you find out later you with the devil, or you with somebody who's crazy. You know, it can happen. All right, and Lord forbid that that's what's happening, because I don't know this man. Luckily and thankfully, we have not seen this man. And I'm all for keeping your relationship private to a certain extent. I'm like this, but it seems like they're getting serious, because they just went on to a trip to Italy. She put their name on a locket, and he travels a lot with her, but we never ever see him. And on one occasion, she went to Afghanistan. I don't know if she went with him or by herself, but she almost didn't make it back, because she ended up in the hospital because she got hit by a vehicle. That was within the last couple months. And don't get me wrong, he cannot be with her traveling all the time with her, but he can now. And because recently she has asked for some more funds. So dang, is she footing his bill? Is she taking care of him, footing his dime? Because allegedly she was getting a lot of bank, and she was doing a lot of ventures to get money. So is he draining her pockets? Why is she asking for more fan money? But I know she's not getting as many views due out to the hate and all that that's coming along with it. But back to what I was saying about the guy. I just been having bad vibes ever since I think it was within a month or two from her almost getting kidnapped. It was either in Russia or Germany. I don't remember where she was, baby. She was somewhere where they talk very different. That's all I can say. And she just said she started feeling uncomfortable, and people started watching her. And then she's also said for safety reasons, she constantly has to change her hotel, and she doesn't stay there for but a couple of days at a time, besides in certain situations, for that reason of her getting stalked, because people knew who she was. So why do you not think that just because somebody asks for your number, flirts with you, who's cute, wouldn't want to do that too? Because let's say you fall for him, he has access to everything you're doing because you trust him. He has access to your whereabouts at all times. You know, where are you going? Because you're going to tell him, honey, I'm going here. Honey, I'm going there. Can you come with me? He's always got his eyes on you. So if somebody's really looking for her, really out to get her, they could have already sent somebody through her boyfriend. Hopefully not. I'm not through telling my story, but that's just a scenario. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. So the only thing that really got me suspicious is because it was one time, maybe a year or two ago, and they had been dating, I'm assuming, for almost a year prior to her saying this. At least I hope, but I could have been wrong, because it was a couple months after the alleged kidnap. So maybe it was less, because I feel like she jumped, scared. But anyway, she was all excited. She was so excited. She was so excited. She was like, my man is finally saying he wants to be put on camera. He doesn't mind being seen. And everything is my man, my man, my man. I, want to get married one day. I want to have kids, which I'm all for that, right? But when it came time to him being on camera, he never showed up. And I can get that, because at the end of the day, if people don't like you, they're not going to like him. He may get some hate threats. And first of all, why would you want to talk to somebody who's not liked? You know what I'm saying? And I feel like he had to know something about her. But at some point, you got to be like, this is my girl. If she wants me to be seen this bad, and wants everybody to know who I am, like, why are you hiding? That's all I'm saying, bro. So don't get too in deep, because he could be an op. That's all I'm motherfucking saying. I feel like if you care for your life, if you care about your well-being, let your friends see this dude first, because he could be a motherfucking op. Believe me, I've married ops in my life. I've been with ops before and didn't even know it, baby. People can be sent by other people, or people can just be straight from the devil himself and you not know about it. So I'm still concerned because he never shows his face. He's always around. He knows everywhere she's going. He knows all her information. He knows all the tea on her. But we know nothing, little to nothing about him, because he's made it so. And she's okay with that because she's thinking, okay, he wants to be private. They want to keep their relationship private. Because I get that part, because at the end of the day, people can be in his DMs. But if people can really be in his DMs, like chatting with him, is that somebody you really want in the first place? You know what I'm saying? And who just goes out their way and be like, oh, a traveler, I want to be in a relationship with a traveler who's constantly in a different city or a different country every week. Like, nobody really said it, because I mean, she was in Switzerland the other week, which is a beautiful place. I probably have to go one day. And like, she just constantly is on the move. So I just can't physically say that, oh, he would just want to be serious with somebody like that. So I feel like he had an agenda for reaching out to her. May I ever know what that agenda is? No. Does he have a citizenship? I don't even know that. Because like I said, and that could be help for him to get a citizenship. Because all I know is we don't know nothing about this man from the way he looks. But in my opinion, I feel like he's white, because I think she said that. But if all out of 3 years, your girlfriend said she wants you to be seen, and then went from wanting you to be so excited for you to be seen to you didn't even show up, to 3 years later, we still don't know what you look like, and she doesn't bring it up anymore. I don't know. All I'm saying is I feel like people are going to get some payback that they wanted, or we should be concerned for those who are actual fans. And that's all I'm saying. No more, no less. But she's grown, and a grown woman who's on the road by herself. She's free to do what she wants to. But does it concern me? Yes, very much so. Very, very, very much so. And I do relationship predictions. I do. If she did want to show him, I could be like, oh yeah, that's really love. He's so in love, or he's using her. But if she doesn't care, I guess I shouldn't care. But it'll be real sad if she gets a baby by this man, gets married to this man, he takes her for everything that she has, and then she's left stranded on the side of the road in some foreign country in Timbuktu. But hey, if you're for it, I'm for it. That's you. And I'm through. So Mary Jane fans, let me know. Should we give him Mary Jane's new boo the bombastic side eye? Or should we just let him be that guy? Because he could be out here being single behind the scenes with 2 to 3 women. We wouldn't even know. Because at the end of the day, we can't attach him to anybody. We can't attach her to anybody, even though I clearly know that she says she's been in a relationship 4 years. And I know it's the same guy. So with that being said, do you think it's a problem? Or you think it's like, don't worry about it? Because to me, I'm thinking bombastic side eye. I'm thinking red flag, red flag, red flags. I'm thinking maybe not your man, your man, your man. And if so, she is footing the bills. And maybe that's why she needs that extra income now. Because, you know, she's saying that she's going to send postcards, whatever. Let's say he gave this sob story. Like, baby, I want to be with you all the time. And she's like, well, I want you to be with me too. I'll just pay for you to come with me, baby. Because, yeah, just quit your job and this and that. And they say they're getting married in the future. Because she has talked about marriage and babies recently. And then next thing you know, we don't hear from her ever again. You know what I'm saying? After she's finished all her countries, there's no reason for her to post too much besides just like daily life, daily living. So I'm concerned. That's it. That's all.
Well, keep serving tea, and that's on me. All is allegedly, that's per tea. They say that we're purty, you like when you do dirty. It's so thirsty, sipping that purty. Per tea, it's so freaky dirty. Body getting bigger, like stick figures.